Hi class, let's take a look at problem 7. Now remember the basic definition of a function. You're looking at the x's that provide you a single y value or the vertical line test. Another way that we talked about this one is by introducing, in this case, a vertical line. Give me just a second, I'm trying to introduce it here. And all we need to do is place it somewhere on space where it fails. In this case, notice that if you place this vertical line and anywhere on the actual plane, you're only gonna have a single intersection. So in this case, I'm just gonna place it there. And if you were to move it, the line to the right or to the left, you're only gonna have a single intersection. Also, as your line goes towards the positive infinity, notice that it's actually increasing, so it's never gonna have a total of 2 intersections. Same idea to the left. So we're assuming that as your function goes to the right or to the left, it's increasing and it's never gonna give you 2 y values. So in this case, they're asking if the graph is defined as a function. We would say yes, the graph is defined as a function because the graph passes the vertical line test. And they're not mentioning to provide coordinate points. Typically, they would be asking for coordinate points if it fails. Here, it's sufficient to draw a vertical line, place the dot there, and that's an indication that wherever you move this vertical line, you're always going to get a single intersection. So in this case, yes, this graph passes the vertical line test, so it is defined as a function. Let's take a look at problem 8. And problem 8 looks a little bit confusing because the way that it's actually given. So in this case, let me introduce the lines. Actually, I think it may be easier if I just copy this one, but let me see if it's going to let me. And we're going to need a total of 2 of these, technically, to display one side of the plane and the other side of the plane. So notice that you have 2 pieces. And the way that it's actually given, it has, oops, that's not the correct intersection. That would be here. It has the appearance that, well, this line is going to go and eventually cross into this section. But notice the dotted line. The dotted line, it's a vertical asymptote, and you also have a horizontal asymptote. So in this case, as this graph is getting near the x-axis of 0, it's going to shoot to the infinity, never cross that dotted line. Same idea on the right hand side. As it goes to 0, which would be the only portion where they could intersect, it's never going to actually get there. So because of the asymptote, we would say that yes, the graph is defined as a function because the graph passes the vertical line test. And that's pretty much it on this one. As I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit confusing because you do get the impression that it's going to basically eventually, as the 2 pieces meet at x is equal to 0, they're going to intersect, but because of the asymptote, they're not intersecting. That's it for this one. Let me move to number 9. In number 9, we just need to find one portion of the plane where the graph fails, and that would be sufficient. So in this case, technically, let me just place the vertical line here. Oh, it's a little bit crooked, so let me just introduce a new one. Okay, so let me draw the intersection that I'm referring. So for these structures to fail as a function, you just need one spot. But notice that technically from x is equal to 0 to 2, it's going to have a total of 2 intersections. So in this case, this one is not defined as a function. So let me write it as no, the graph is not defined as a function because the graph fails the vertical line test. And once again, as we go back to the basic definition of a function, your mathematical structure is not going to be a function if a given x value gives you 2 y values. So every x is going to give you one, it should give you one unique y value. In this case, well, for x is equal to 1, you're looking at 3 and also -3 as possible answers. So problem 9, not a function, fails the vertical line test. Problem 8, it's a function. It's actually given us 2 pieces, but they're never intersecting. So this one, yes, it's a function. The graph passes the vertical line test. And the first one that we did in this video was 7. It passes the vertical line test as well. I'll put the other videos on, the other problems on another video.